Because that's kind of like the story I give of how I got into like designing emergency shelters. Is I come from a product design background, and I mean love the field, but I saw some of the people I worked with were incredible, and I saw such a high concentration of skills in engineering and design that was only focused on one tiny market segment in the richest 10% of the world, right? And maybe not that, but I guess I wanted to try and see, is there a way to transfer that skill set to another market? And stumbled upon article after article talking about the terrible living conditions in relief camps, and through that process, eventually emergency shelter became the focus for my senior thesis. That was about 3 years ago, and the project's kind of evolved from there. It's been on and off, I haven't worked on it the entire time, but got a little bit of funding right out of school to build the first prototype. Started applying for grants and fellowships, trying to continue the project, and a year later got some more funding to build another prototype and bring it to Haiti for testing. So that's where we are right now. Great. For us, the reason we came to Haiti was to put this in the hands of the end user and learn from their perspective what they like, what they dislike, and how we can trying to work with them to improve the product. And because up to now it's been our assumptions as to what I think the best emergency shelter or transitional shelter would be, but I could be a world away from what Genesis or his neighbors or what other people think, So we knew we wanted to set up in a camp, but for us, how do you just march into a camp and pick one family over another? So the first 3 weeks we were here, we just spent touring different areas, visiting with different people, and through that kind of narrowed down maybe 6 or 7 places where we thought we could potentially set up. And we wrote out the pros and cons of each one. And one thing we were really concerned about was what kind of tension would we create in the community by giving one shelter to a shelter for one family and not another, or what kind of jealousy would arise. In Genesis' situation, he's the president of this area of the camp. So he's the elected president of all the 30,000 people. There's 13 different committees, and he's president of one committee. This community has seen a lot of benefit from him being president. He's brought in water sanitation, or clean water, potable water. They have 2 1,000-gallon tanks with that has some kind of chlorination process that makes it drinkable. All that has come through him. From other organizations, but he's been the one that's gotten out and got them for his community. So because of his position and who he is as a person, we really, it was like a perfect fit, that someone that's really well respected by community, is very outspoken. He can work with us and honestly and open communication as to what he dislikes. So that's kind of how so that's kind of how we picked him. But a lot of good ideas, a lot of people, engineers, architects, inventors have come up with incredible ideas for emergency shelter. But it's almost like these age groups, you got to think of their position. They're coming in, what they do is disaster relief or some kind of development. And they're organizations that operate with limited funding. So if they were to spend the money on a brand new, fresh idea that hasn't been proven, and that product fails, it's a huge risk for them, especially when they work with these limited budgets. So you gotta put yourself in a position in their shoes, So to be able to even get to the point that you can sell a product to them, I think you have to somehow find a way to test it yourself or raise the funds to do multiple testing so you can prove to them that this is what happened in a hurricane, this is what happened when it went through an earthquake, or again, I don't know, that's my guess though, but the idea of just building 1 or 2 prototypes, setting them up, taking some pictures, and then showing them these pictures and making a sale off that, I think is very unlikely. it's possible, you know. But from my experiences, they want to see a lot of, they're very risk averse, and they want to see some kind of proof that your project for your shelter design does work.
Right. So go out and test it.
Yeah, go out and test it. That's and in terms of learning, I mean our idea matured. I don't know how much between the first one and the second one, you know.
Good for you.
Nah,
No? Everyone in
all my friends so happy for that.
They want one too now, huh?
Yeah, both want, but they already know what's going on. They know you're trying to make them, but you don't got no money to make them.
Right.
You have to find the NGOs to help him to do it.
Yeah.
Because the way he is with us here is like family. Everybody know him, and be honest with you, if you work by yourself, whatever the time, nothing gonna be happening to him. Because they already know who he is. It's my friend, and all my friends have to get respect.
Yes, yes.